These Japanese secrets will make your Honda last over 300,000 miles. Most American drivers assume a car is old once it hits 180,000 miles. But in Japan, that's barely middle-aged. The difference is not just that Hondas are well built, it's the way Japanese owners care for their cars. They follow small, consistent habits that almost never make it into US maintenance routines. And that's exactly why their Hondas routinely outlive ours by hundreds of thousands of miles. Generally, Hondas have a reputation for running practically forever. The truth is simple. The car is built to last, but the longevity is up to you. In this video, I'm breaking down real maintenance habits that can turn an average Honda into a long-distance legend without major repairs, expensive tools, or dealership upsells. Stick with me, because these often overlooked Japanese practices can easily add years and tens of thousands of miles to your Honda's life. Number 10. Eliminate harsh gear changes before they become major failures. Here is a trick professional Japanese Honda owners use that almost no other person even thinks about: fixing rough or delayed shifting before it turns into a transmission nightmare. Most people assume a hard shift means thousands of dollars in repairs, but in Japan, drivers know it's usually a warning sign, not a death sentence. And if you respond early, you can smooth things out without tearing the transmission apart. These technicians teach that rough shifting often comes from small, fixable issues: old fluid that's lost friction additives, a clogged transmission filter, dirty solenoids, or even a miscalibrated throttle body throwing off shift timing. Instead of waiting for catastrophic failure, they address these minor causes immediately. The result? Their Hondas keep shifting like new well past 300,000 miles, while many American transmissions fail early, simply because the early symptoms were ignored. Deal with rough shifting right away, and you will save your transmission and your wallet. Number 9. Always engage the parking brake. In the US, most drivers throw the car into park and walk away, assuming the transmission can handle anything. What they don't realize is that this simple habit puts the full weight of the vehicle on a tiny internal component called the parking pawl, a small metal pin that locks the transmission in place. Day after day, that pressure causes the pawl to chip, bend, or develop microscopic fractures. At first, you will notice the car lurch slightly when shifting out of park. Eventually, it turns into rough engagement, internal wear, and some of the most expensive transmission repairs a Honda owner can face. Meanwhile, professional drivers do it differently. They follow a strict routine: parking brake first, then park. This sends all the weight to the brake system, which is designed to hold the car instead of the delicate transmission. It keeps the pawl untouched, prevents premature wear, and dramatically extends transmission lifespan. Adopt this small habit, and your Honda's gearbox will stay tight, smooth, and healthy for years. Number 8. The 1-minute underhood health check. Here is a habit that separates long-lasting Hondas from the ones that fail early in the US: the weekly underhood inspection. In America, most drivers only open the hood when something's already gone wrong. But in Japan, checking under the hood once a week is as normal as refueling. It's quick, simple, and it prevents 90% of major failures before they ever begin. This 1-minute ritual isn't complicated. Japanese drivers scan for the basics: fluid levels, belt condition, hose softness, leaks, loose clamps, and anything that looks, smells, or sounds different. Catching a tiny coolant drip or a slightly loose battery terminal early can save you from overheating, electrical issues, or sudden breakdowns months later. These microchecks keep Japanese-owned Hondas running clean, stable, and predictable. Number 7. Engine oil color analysis every 500 miles. Many drivers pop the hood only when a warning light forces them to, but professional drivers take a far more proactive approach. And one of their most powerful habits is surprisingly simple: inspecting engine oil color every 500 miles. It's not about paranoia. It's about understanding that oil color reveals problems long before they become serious. Japanese owners know that fresh, healthy oil should gradually darken, not suddenly turn black, gritty, or smell burnt. When the oil changes color too quickly, it's a silent message from the engine. It can signal fuel slipping past the rings, overheating, carbon buildup, coolant contamination, or early sludge formation. issues that Americans usually discover only after parts fail or performance drops. By catching these subtle clues early, these drivers address problems while they're still cheap and easy to fix. And here is the real advantage. This single habit lets you stay one step ahead of engine wear. Instead of reacting to breakdowns, you prevent them entirely, keeping your Honda smoother, cleaner, and far more dependable as the miles climb. Number 6. The Pre-Drive Safety Scan. Every Honda owner should copy. In Japan, long-lasting cars aren't a coincidence. They are the result of consistent habits. One of the most powerful is something professional drivers do before every trip, whether it's a short grocery run or a long highway drive: the 5-point pre-drive inspection. It's simply part of responsible car ownership, and it plays a major role in why Japanese-maintained Hondas regularly outlive their American counterparts. Instead of rushing off the moment they sit down, these drivers take a brief moment to scan for potential issues. They glance at the tires for low pressure or sidewall damage. They check the ground for fresh leaks. They tap the brake and signal lights to confirm they are working. They listen and smell for anything unusual, and they quickly review the dashboard for new warnings. These tiny steps reveal early clues of a slow leak, a failing bulb, a soft tire, and a loose clamp. Problems that are cheap to fix today, but costly if ignored. This simple routine shifts you from hoping the car is fine to actually knowing it's fine. With just half a minute of awareness, you dramatically lower your risk of roadside surprises and unexpected repairs. Build this habit into your daily driving rhythm, and your Honda will operate with the same confidence and reliability Japanese drivers have enjoyed for decades. Number 5. The Japanese cooling system refresh. In regions where vehicles regularly surpass 300,000 miles, owners don't gamble with their cooling system. In fact, they treat coolant like a scheduled, non-negotiable service item. Instead of waiting for overheating scares or discolored fluid, these long-life drivers replace their coolant every 30,000 miles, whether it seems necessary or not. This contrasts sharply with habits in the US, where coolant changes are often delayed until obvious symptoms appear. By that point, internal damage has usually already begun. This strict interval isn't just tradition, it's based on how coolant chemistry works. Engine coolant loses its protective additives over time, weakening its ability to prevent corrosion, stabilize temperatures, and lubricate the water pump. Once those additives break down, rust starts forming inside the radiator, thermostat housing, heater core, and even the head gasket's sealing surfaces. These early stages are invisible until a major component fails. Drivers who follow this refresh cycle effectively halt corrosion before it takes root. The cooling system stays clean, the water pump lasts longer, and temperature regulation remains precise even under heavy load or hot weather. Make this 30,000-mile interval part of your regular maintenance routine, and you will create the same cooling system reliability that keeps high-mileage Hondas running strong long after others begin to struggle. Number 4. Master the cold start, gentle drive ritual. In places where cars routinely survive 20 to 30 years, drivers treat the first few minutes of every trip with extreme care. They know the cold start phase is when an engine faces its hardest workload, which is why they never rush out of the driveway, stomp the accelerator, or push the car to speed before it's ready. Instead, they ease into their drive with what engineers refer to as controlled throttle warm-up, soft acceleration, light engine load, and smooth transitions until operating temperature is fully reached. When the engine is cold, oil is thick and hasn't yet reached the upper valve train, cam lobes, or the turbo. Pistons and cylinder walls haven't expanded to their ideal clearances, meaning friction is higher than normal. Bearings are most vulnerable during this stage, and aggressive driving forces metal-to-metal contact before proper lubrication forms. Repeating this day after day slowly revives piston rings, rod bearings, gaskets, and even timing components, the silent killers of long-term engine health. Drivers who practice gentle warm-ups avoid this invisible wear entirely. They let the engine settle into smooth operation before asking it to work, preserving internal components and drastically slowing long-term degradation. Number 3. The post-service lug nut safety check. In the US, most people assume the shop tightened everything correctly. In Japan, they trust, then double-check. And this one habit prevents a long list of dangerous and expensive problems. Improperly torqued lug nuts can lead to warped brake rotors, uneven stress on wheel hubs, premature bearing failure, and in extreme cases, wheels literally coming loose while driving. Japanese drivers avoid all of that by using a torque wrench to confirm each lug nut is tightened to factory spec right after any tire work is done. It takes less than 2 minutes, costs nothing, and dramatically improves long-term safety and reliability. Number 2. The anti-rust ritual that saves cars from early death. If you have ever wondered why Hondas in Japan look clean and solid even after 20 years, while many American ones start rusting out before 150,000 miles, here is one of the reasons. In Japan, rust prevention isn't optional. Drivers treat rust the same way they treat engine problems, because they know one truth most Americans overlook. Rust destroys a car faster than mechanical wear ever will. Japanese owners perform regular underbody washes, apply seasonal protective sprays, and inspect wheel wells, frame rails, fuel lines, and suspension points for the tiniest signs of corrosion. Catch a small rust spot early, seal it, and the problem disappears. Ignore it, and it spreads silently until you are dealing with rotten brake lines, weakened frames, and expensive structural repairs. This relentless anti-rust routine is why so many Japanese Hondas survive with solid bodies and safe suspensions. Number 1. The brake system life extender. If you have ever wondered why some Hondas maintain crisp, confident braking well into the high mileage range, while others develop spongy pedals and early ABS issues, the answer often comes down to one overlooked service: timely brake fluid replacement. In regions known for extreme vehicle longevity, owners treat the 2-year brake fluid interval as a mandatory part of the maintenance cycle. This strict schedule exists for good reason. Brake fluid naturally absorbs moisture from the air, even inside a closed system. It happens slowly, silently, and without any visible warning signs. But that moisture is enough to rust internal components like ABS valves, master cylinders, and caliper pistons. It also lowers the boiling point of the fluid, which can lead to pedal fade under hard braking or during long downhill drives. Over time, the entire hydraulic system becomes contaminated, sticky, and unreliable, often long before American drivers realize anything is wrong. Drivers who replace their brake fluid every 2 years avoid this gradual internal decay. Fresh fluid keeps the braking system clean, corrosion-free, and able to deliver the same sharp response it had when the car was new. Prioritize this 2-year interval, and will give your Honda the braking reliability and longevity that high-mileage drivers depend on. Mile after mile, year after year,